Hello and welcome to the Django GraphQL Query Fundamentals course. My name is Xander. This tutorial is part of a whole course playlist available for free on YouTube. For deeper learning, the extended course is available for purchase at Udemy. Now you'll find all the resources and links in the video description. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for weekly promotions, discounts, and Udemy course giveaways. Right, so in this tutorial, we'll move from manually writing GraphQL types to using real Django models. Now, Strawberry can generate types directly from our models, making things faster, cleaner, and sometimes more maintainable, especially as your application grows. Right, so the first task, let's upgrade our category type to use the dynamic model-based approach. Now, this is only going to be possible because we have already installed Strawberry GraphQL Django. Now, this is an official extension built on top of Strawberry. It's designed specifically to integrate Strawberry and Django models more easily. So that's going to give us access to a few different resources, including Strawberry Django type to auto-generate types from models, but a little bit later on in the course, we'll take a look at input and filters. Right, so let's start off by copying and pasting types. Let's just call this Django types. That way you still have access to the previous types if you want to view and extend that. So I'm going to call this Django types, and we're now going to need to import Strawberry Django. And we're going to need our models. So from inventory, this is where you'll find the models that we created previously. Let's go ahead and import the category model. Right, so now we need to tell Strawberry to use the category model to generate GraphQL types from it. So we can remove the previous type. Let's bring in Strawberry Django.type, and then we specify our model. And then we can create an empty class. So let's go ahead and create the category type class and use pass. And now we need to hook it up to our query. So in our queries, we need to now define the fact we want to use this new Django type. So from Django types, let's import category type. Right, so now we need to swap from our hard-coded data to use the real data from our Django database. So I have commented out the previous Strawberry type here, and I've recreated it. And this time we now need to return the data. So for that, we need to specify a Django ORM query. So category.objects.all. Right, so now we're returning category.objects.all, which gives us a query set of real category instances from our database. So we are going to need to, from inventory models, import category model. Now let's remember that because we've now set up our category type based upon our category models in Django, Strawberry knows how to convert those model instances into GraphQL responses automatically. Right, so now we can test this out. If you haven't already started your containers, go ahead and do so. If you have, then you can just restart them. Now, I was hoping that it was going to restart and allow us to actually view GraphQL, but it's not going to. There is a problem, and that was intentional. If you go over to your container and have a look, we're told here that category type must define one or more fields. Now, this error occurs because even when using the Strawberry Django type, Strawberry requires at least one field to be explicitly defined or specified via the field's parameter. So we've got a few different options here. We can specify all the fields. So we can just go ahead and run fields all. So it will then import and use all of the category fields, or else we can simply just go ahead and specify the fields that we want to use. So this approach ensures Strawberry includes only the specified fields from the category model. So in our example, we're going to select all fields. Now we don't need to restart Docker here, but you can see by changing that setting, we now have managed to work past that error and it looks like our server is running once again. So we can now access the localhost 8000/GraphQL endpoint, and we can go ahead now and run our query. Now, don't worry, this is meant to happen as well. This is telling us simply that the inventory category table, it doesn't exist in our database. And you might have that problem, you might come across that problem. So it's well worth knowing how to resolve that. In our case, it's because of our particular setup. So let's take a look at the code. What we're going to need to do in Docker Compose is to remember to remove this fake option. Now, a little bit later on in this course, we are going to automatically populate the database every time we start the container. But at this point, we're not ready to do that. So I'm just going to remove the fake option in line 39 of our Docker Compose file. And then I'm going to just restart the containers. So that will mean me just manually deleting the containers for now. So we start fresh. And then when that's done, and we can access the volume, so I'll remove those too. Anytime now. There we go. Right, so let's go back into our code and we'll restart, rebuild. So that should now create all of the database tables because we removed that fake option. So it should use the Django models to actually create the tables. So now when we go back, let's just do a refresh, we should now be able to access the data. So what we're returning now from the database is an empty data set because we don't actually have any data, of course. So let's go into our localhost admin. Let's create some data and tie all this together. So admin, username and password, unless you've changed it. Let's go to categories. Let's add a new category. New category. I'll give it a name of new category. Is active and press save. So it looks like we're going to need a dash there because it is a slug. So let's try that. We've now created a new category. So let's go back into our IQI. Let's run this again. And the string did not match the expected pattern. Now, I wasn't expecting that problem, so I did some additional testing, and it just seems to be the fact that we need to refresh the GraphQI page before we then go ahead and run the query. And from that point, we don't seem to then have an issue. So I go ahead and create a new category after that, and then we run our query again, and it looks to be okay. So you do need to be aware of if you do make any changes. So here, for example, I've changed the fields from all to the ID name and slug field. So if you do that and make a change and then go ahead and run the query again, you notice that we're still using the information from the previous type. So you are going to need to refresh. Now, if I just open up the GraphQL Explorer here, you can see that we're still using the previous type. So if I refresh, you can now see that we have changed to the new settings of only using the ID name and slug. So it's only after that refresh where we then utilize that new information. So if you do have any other problems, do check out the source code connected to this module. You'll find it in the first tutorial of this module, but hopefully you've now managed to connect your Django model and you have now successfully run the query. Now, what's important to remember here is that here when we return our category objects all, here we're passing a query set, a lazy chainable object that hasn't hit the database yet. But once Strawberry and GraphQL starts resolving fields, Django will fetch the full model instance from the database, which means that all fields on the model are pulled from the database, even if you only use a few in the GraphQL response. So if you're interested in performance, under the hood, it is still pulling more data than you actually need unless you tell it otherwise. So what you might like to do here is to, for example, just specify the fields that you want to return in this query. And then, of course, we need to just make sure that matches the Django types. So here we can specify ID and name. Now that's just an example, of course. One of the great things about GraphQL is that clients can choose exactly which fields they want, but still behind the scenes, it's still our job to make sure that we are not overfetching data. There may be specific fields we don't want to make available to the client. So this is where the only and defer method in Django becomes valuable when your models get large or more complex. Right, so we've now connected our GraphQL types to real Django models by using the Strawberry Django type. We've moved beyond manually writing out every field and started letting Strawberry generate types based upon our existing models. We've also looked at how to avoid some of the common issues and spoke a little bit about performance and how we can further optimize the Django queries to only return the data that we need from the database. Of course, everything that we've done so far has been based upon the category table, but you can now apply everything we've learned so far and apply it to any of the tables here in our database. Of course, you now know the basics of selecting data from any table in our database.